Welcome back to my channel. It's me, and today we're going to be looking at some more HOA horror stories from Reddit. If you've never read these before, they're so fun. There's nothing like reading about other people's problems, especially when it's the stupidest problems. Like these are problems that could have been avoided if somebody had just used common sense. In the first story, our next Reddit user says, I recently purchased a house in a neighborhood with an HOA. I saw one neighbor mowing his lawn with a can of fart spray. I thought this was hilarious, so I bought a can for myself. After I finished mowing, I cracked the window open, turned on the exhaust fan and sprayed half the can on my lawn while standing on the sidewalk. The wind shifted and the smell came back into my house. Within 20 minutes, I received a letter from my HOA president informing me of a violation of our agreement because of the stench of my lawn. Apparently, the neighbor had already complained. Can someone say overkill? Our agreement states that you can't spray anything on your grass, including fertilizer, which is ridiculous since most fertilizers are liquids. But there is no mention of smell. I live in a rural area. What am I supposed to do? Hire an air freshener company to eliminate the smell from my yard? I hate it when it rains because the smell just goes away on its own. Well, yeah, if you don't want to get in trouble with the HOA, probably should have read the fine print before you bought the house. Because even though it doesn't specifically say anything about smells, clearly the HOA believes that smells are included in their whole you can't spray stuff on your lawn rule because otherwise I would have sent you a letter. So either way, it's kind of on you here. Either you didn't read the fine print or you did, and you just kind of assumed that they weren't actually serious about that rule. But you can appeal it. You could always appeal it and just tell them, like, listen, I'm sorry, but I don't think this rule is very clear. What are you gonna do? Make me hire an air freshener guy to come in and de-stink my lawn? Like, this is ridiculous. But then again, maybe just keep the window closed when you're spraying stuff on your lawn from now on. But our next Redditor has a much more serious problem. They say, we recently moved into a new construction home in a neighborhood with an HOA. We had the pleasure of meeting the president of the HOA while doing a final walkthrough. He informed us that our grass was the wrong color and we would have to change it. It was a cloudy day and the grass had rained the day before, so it was a bit wet. We asked him to clarify what he meant and he said that the grass had to be a certain shade of green and that we were not in compliance. I asked him if he was serious and he stated that we would be fined if we did not correct it. Long story short, we had the entire front strip redone with sod and spent $300 on seed to make sure that our grass was the right shade of green. Since then, we have had several conversations with this individual, who has also stopped returning our phone calls and texts. We are moving forward with filing a complaint with the whole board. Hopefully, the board will see the ridiculousness of the situation. Any advice? Yes. As funny as it is to imagine your neighbor complaining about your grass being the wrong shade of green, you should have known better than to trust that guy. Right off the bat, during the walkthrough, any reasonable person, even if they were the HOA president, should have brought up the issue of the grass being the wrong shade of green. No. That would have been something they would have sent you a letter about. Something they would have mentioned to you after the fact. But the fact that he tried to scare you into fixing it immediately during the walkthrough should have been your first red flag. Like he was trying to intimidate you, which means the HOA president is probably a mobster. You definitely need to go to the HOA board about this. And also, why did you pay $300 out of your own pocket when you knew that it was a ridiculous request? Shouldn't you have made the HOA pay for it? Because it sounds like they were the ones who were wrong. And that is all the HOA horror stories I have for you today. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.